Welcome to cooking school with me, Matt Granato. We're going to make banana walnut bread today. And first off, we got to start and spray our pan because nobody likes the bread sticking in the pan. Trust me, I had that experience last week. We're going to start that off and then we are done with the cooking spray. The next ingredient is the cultured buttermilk. You can get this in the grocery store back by the other milk products. You don't have to get this big one, but since I bake a ton now, I get this one. You can get them in small, like 89 cents or something for just a little quart or whatever. No, this is a quart, 1 pint. Excuse me. So anyway, this recipe is calling for 1/4 of a cup. So we're just going to go ahead and measure that out. I usually go over a little bit just because I've noticed that in a bread maker the recipes they seem a little bit dry. So we just need to pour it in there and we are finished with our buttermilk. I usually try to rinse out that cup because buttermilk seems to stick a little bit more than other types of milk. So I usually do that. Next is going to be our unsalted butter. Now I keep this at room temperature, so I left this out. It's a little bit hard to cut if you don't. So just slice it off as the recipe asks for. And then that way, once the mixer starts going, once we start it up, it comes out really nicely. And actually, since we don't have as much liquid in this recipe as compared to other bread recipes, it's going to be very beneficial that it actually mixes into the dough. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of crumbs and stickingness and such. So just cutting it up and get it in there. So I kind of splattered. Anyway, and then last one goes in right there. So the rest of that is garbage, and we move on to our next ingredient, which is going to be the egg. Now with eggs, it asks for it at room temperature. I've noticed a good way to do this because I don't like to leave eggs out. I want to get salmonella or something. So I put it in really hot tap water, let it sit there for 10-15 minutes, and then it is perfect. So we'll just go ahead and crack that and put that in. And just add 1 egg in this recipe. Some recipes ask for 2 or 3. This one's a pretty small one. Next one we have our vanilla. Now because I'm cheap and because I honestly can't taste the difference, we are going to use vanilla, imitation vanilla. Hopefully you're okay with that. I know I am, and I need to get out that one. So I don't know many people that can't taste the difference, but I know real top quality chefs like to use regular vanilla, but I'm not a top quality chef. So we're not going to use it. Anyway, that is all for the vanilla. Then just 1 teaspoon of that. Next one, really fun, is the bananas. So very key ingredient for banana nut bread. I'm going to dump out this hot water that I was using for the egg to get that at room temperature. And then I've noticed that from making this recipe in the past, it just asks for 1 cup of mashed bananas. Well, you can't exactly know how much 1 cup of mashed bananas is. I've just noticed that about 1 or 2 bananas comes out to be 1 cup. So just go ahead, and this is actually a really fun part. I think this is the best part about the whole recipe, is taking this and smashing the bananas just like that. So you just break them in half and then just take a rubber spatula and just mash them in there just like that. Okay, so we've got our smashed bananas now. It doesn't need to be perfect because the mixer's obviously going to do a little bit. But just get them smashed as good as you can so it's a fine mixture and just dump it right in. Nothing special to it. Just get it all out. Some people don't just use a regular spoon. I prefer a spatula because then you can make sure you get everything, because I've had recipes that were off by just a little bit, and it just, you know, if you maybe get the last bits and pieces of the ingredients, who knows, it might not have been messed up. Anyway, that is the smashed bananas. Very commonly heard in the song from The Lion King, from Rafiki. Anyway, got some salt now. Salt, good in every recipe. It kind of helps the baking process. I just asked for 1/2 teaspoon. Since my salt is kind of dumb, I like to pour it over the sink because then I don't get it everywhere. Anyway, maybe a little bit more. Wonderful. Cooking is never an exact science. You have to make it your own. Anyway, that is the sugar. And now we got, sorry, that was the salt. Now we've got the sugar. Kind of a grotesque amount of sugar that we have to put into this. 2/3 of a cup. So we're going to use 1/3 cups and just do 2 of them because Matt is broke and doesn't have a 2/3 cup. Somebody needs to go to the store and get me some more sugar. Alright, so 2/3 cup of sugar. Yeah, kind of gross actually. How much sugar is in the recipe. Anyway, that is all for the sugar now, and then we've got the bleached flour, unbleached flour, excuse me. I don't know why it needs unbleached flour. Maybe it's, I don't know. Something I learned, and it was brought to my attention about a month or 2 ago. You're not supposed to smash flour in there, so don't. Just take it and level it off just like that. This is a 1/3 cup of flour, and then we also need 1 cup of flour. So using our measuring cups. I have also, for those of you that are broke out there like me, you can also use for 1/3. It's amazing what a little math can do for you. You know exactly how to measure things out, and you make anything work for you. All right, we got baking soda now. This, not too much of this. You don't want to completely make this be going over the top or anything. So just, let's see, we've got a 3/4 of a teaspoon. So got 1/4, 1/2, and 3. That's it, the baking soda. Don't get the baking powder and baking soda mixed up. It ruins the recipe, trust me, I tried it. Not a huge difference, but it doesn't raise properly, so just take my word for it. Anyway, we've got 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, which is right in front of my eyes. Look. 1/4 and 1/2. All right, and the last part of the recipe. You get these in the grocery store, all chopped up for you. This is about a 1/2 cup. I'm not even going to bother measuring because I know it is. So there we go. If you have a nut allergy, don't make this recipe. Just the way. All right, so that is that. This is the best part, putting it into the bread maker. Make sure the paddle's in there, otherwise it's not going to mix too well. And we hit the start button. Starts to mix, and that is how you make banana bread in a bread maker. Not very hard, but if you don't know how to measure things, you may have problems. Until next time, I'm your local cooking show, Matt Granato, your cook for the day, or baker, whatever.